Hallerin, thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate you.
You caught us in the middle of a fun conversation, too. I had one of those. I've been trying to stay away from this stuff, Congressman. And I think you need to have hearings on this, the apple pie at McDonald's. Something's up over there. There's something not. There might be some kind of illicit something in that. That's what I'm saying. Good afternoon, sir.
It's pretty good. I got to agree with you. It's pretty good. Not better than my mother-in-law's, though. She's got the best apple pie on the planet.
Well said, sir. Well said. That's the right thing to say. Very good. Hey, Congressman, let's talk a little bit about Homeland Security. You've got the gavel now with that committee? Yeah,
I'm the chairman, and it's a great opportunity for Tennessee to have a gavel now, and it's an opportunity to have somebody sitting at that table with the chairman when we sit down and do leadership and planning for the conference. But it's also a great opportunity to hold this administration accountable, because what's happened at our southern border is just it's a tragedy.
I want to talk about that, but before we get to the southern border, update me on what Homeland Security knows about, and I don't know if we're at a crisis point or if this is just peculiar at this point, about these attacks at power substations.
So right now, what we're being told from the administration is it's mostly, vandalism, that kind of thing. It's not some nation state or anything like that. That doesn't mean that as they gather more intelligence, they're not going to figure something else out. But right now, the initial stuff we're hearing is just vandalism.
All right, let's go to the border. I know my understanding is you're just back from El Paso, Texas. You've been down on the border. I've watched a number of, I guess this is not a word, but I'm going to mash it into a word, struggly conversations with Mayorkas, where it seems like it's almost hard for him to admit that there's even a crisis. But what's going on at the southern border?
Yeah, they don't see this as a crisis. This is exactly what they want to happen. I mean, everything they've done is to facilitate more people coming into the United States, whether it's their budget request that puts more people into processing instead of stopping, or their changes to the paroling process. He's basically making law from the secretary's position. It's contrary to our Constitution. And everything they're doing is just to speed people into the country. I mean, 4.7 million. Put that into perspective. 25 states in the country have populations less than 4.6 million, and that doesn't count the gotaways, the people that when a Border Patrol agent is marshaling 5 or 6 that he can control, 10 more he sees run around, and those are called gotaways, and those are the people that are actually avoiding Border Patrol, right? And today, if you're going to get automatic asylum and come into the country, which is what Biden's essentially doing, why would you avoid Border Patrol unless you got some nefarious reason to be here? There's 1.2 million of those. The administration can't even tell us where they are or who they are. So and of course, we've seen videos from ranchers' game cameras of just file after file of camouflage wearing, backpack wearing, and then we find, 10 miles in, a pile of 500 backpacks where they've taken the drugs and dumped it in a rendezvous vehicle, and now it's gone all over the United States. So it's killing Americans. My mantra yesterday was Mayorkas lied. He lied when he said he had operational control of the border. He doesn't. The cartels do. He lied, and Americans are dying.
What can you do? Because you have the gavel of the committee. Republicans have a slim majority in the House of Representatives. But in order to get anything done, especially if it involves legislation, if you don't have the cooperation of Democrats, and I understand more Democrats are saying now, you got to do something about the border, but what can you do?
So our strategy is essentially to put together a single, and it has to go through multiple committees because the jurisdictions on this thing are diverse, right? But on the Homeland side, my committee, it's mostly the resources, the people the technology and the infrastructure. So I don't own the immigration piece. That goes through judiciary, because when you break an immigration law, that's a violation of the law. So that goes through judiciary committee. Jim Jordan is writing a bill on his side. I'm writing a bill on my side. We're going to put them together in the rules committee before they go to the floor. Now, this big bill is probably not going to pass the Senate, right? We'll pass it on the floor of the House. Probably won't pass the Senate. We'll give them some time. We'll, push them in the media. Hopefully, as we do oversight, shine a light on what's going on, we get enough of those guys to want to pass the big bill. If that doesn't happen, then we'll chip away at it and do small things. Here's an example of a small thing. Right now, law enforcement or prior military still have to go through the same process to get to work for Border Patrol. And it involves a lie detector test and the security clearance, which takes forever. But if you've had a security clearance in the military, why can't you just go straight and work for Border Patrol? So that's a simple fix that Democrats would support. And so we can just chip away at these things that are causing parts of the problem at the border. But until Mayorkas and Biden, reverse these policies, which, again, if we shine enough light on it, the American people realize that everybody's at risk. Hopefully we can put enough pressure on them to do it. And, of course, with Mayorkas, we're going to hold him accountable to the many laws he's refused to pass. We'll build a packet, hand it over to judiciary, and if they think it's worth, getting rid of him, they'll impeach him.
All right, so let me ask you this before you get away. What are your top 3 priorities on the Homeland Security Committee?
So number one for me, of course, is the southern border, and that's, the things that I talked about: technology, people, and infrastructure. My number 2 is cyber. We have a cyber border, and I wrote an op-ed in the Washington Times about how we should consider cybersecurity our 4th border. North border, south border, Caribbean border. 4th border is our cyber border. And then the 3rd priority is to reorganize and make the Department of Homeland Security more efficient. Right now, the span of control issue, the Secretary has 23 different people that report to him, and it's not an efficient department, and it hasn't been reorganized or reauthorized since it was built 20 years ago. So those are the 3 big initiatives for me, and we got a lot of work to do.
All right, Congressman Mark Green, chair of the Homeland Security Committee. Here's what I dare you to do. Take your mother-in-law to McDonald's for one of those apple pies and see what she says. Doc, it's always great to talk to you, sir.
I'm going to do it. Brother. Take care. Good to talk to you.